Back in December, I'm preparing for my finals, and I'm just going on my phone, just trying to get a break from studying. And I have this weird urge to go on my Twitch because I want to watch something real quick. I was on a break, and I looked at my feed, and I was like, I don't watch most of these streamers anymore. I had a bunch of like Valorant streamers over there, and a bunch of other like variety streamers there. But the overall thing was that I saw my feed and I was like, I couldn't be bothered with most of this. And so I actually started like, unfollowing like a bunch of like Twitch streamers off my Twitch account. And it fed into this feeling that I don't think I follow things I like. I think after the instance, like I started looking at my Instagram and it felt weird to me. I looked at my Twitter, felt weird again. And I realized there's so much stuff on all my social media that I just don't like. Like I can't be bothered with most of the stuff. It's like stuff that I followed years and years ago, and I never bothered to really question afterwards whether, do I really care about this? Do I need to watch this? Do I need to read this? And it's so crazy because it got to the point where I started looking at my YouTube subscriptions. Because YouTube is something where you kind of like subscribe to something and you kind of forget about it. Like you find a nice educational channel, you find a nice vlog channel, you find a nice, I don't know, you just find something that's interesting and you're like, okay, subscribe. I looked at my YouTube subscriptions and I'm like, what is all this? And you realize that most of these accounts, you've had them for a long time. Like I'm turning 23, I just graduated out of college. So I've had like most of these accounts and everything for like, I don't know, like at least 6-7 years. And I've changed a lot in those 6-7 years, right? So I look at my social media, like in the feeds, and it's all so alien to me. I don't know why it's never hit me before, but it hits me so hard now. And to the point where I get anxious. Like if I see something that's so dumb and stupid, I'm like, unfollow this account. Like, why am I in the year 2024 following 9gag on Instagram? And the crazy thing is there are like 80 other people that I know that follow their account. Their memes have never been good, they've always been trash. Why do we follow like such like there's some accounts that we all just follow, right? Like I went on 9gag and there was like a bunch of people who follow it. It's insane that we follow it in the first place. But it's just like, okay, yeah, you just follow that. Same with like the way we consume news and like meme pages and like people also. Like I think that's at least one area where most of us are good with it. Like you see someone's post on Instagram, for example, and you're like, haven't really talked to this person ever in my entire life. Why am I following them? I'll just go and follow them. I think that's one area where at least we're good with it, like we actually are conscious of like who is appearing on our feeds, what we're consuming, because they're actually people, but it's the big accounts, like it's like the news media outlets, it's the meme pages, the bad ones, I mean, not the good ones. Like for some reason at some point as a kid I just liked cars, so I just went and I followed every single car manufacturer in existence on Instagram. Like I think Instagram is the weirdest one. It's like Facebook. Like Facebook when I was in my late teens is like it's a cesspool. I don't touch my Facebook. Like even to this day it's just there, somewhere. It's like a void of like just weird stuff. Because I think I made my Facebook like that was like my first thing ever. Like my social media. It was the first thing I ever made. And that stuff is like ancient. Like on Facebook, I remember as a kid, I used to follow just like every single movie. Like you had like pages on Facebook, right? I would just follow the page of every single movie that I had ever watched. It was the dumbest shit ever. And on Instagram now, like for me now, that's Instagram. Like you can sort your following accounts by oldest, right? I did that like a few months ago, and what I saw was insane. There were like Gravity Falls accounts, there were Sherlock accounts, there were Doctor Who accounts. Sure, like I am proud of the Doctor Who stuff and everything, and there's some accounts obviously like Gravity Falls and like shows that I love that I don't feel like cringed out by. But the fact that I followed like 10 fan accounts of like Gravity Falls or like Sherlock and like a bunch of other shows, it's like these accounts are like inactive. They haven't posted in like 6 years, and yet I still follow them. I think YouTube was slightly more interesting in the sense that I follow like, holy shit, I follow like a lot of accounts that are educational or informative, because I'm just like, I see a channel that's like informative and educational, okay, I'll subscribe. I want to learn more. And it's crazy how many of those I saw there. Like, YouTube subscriptions are still interesting in the sense that a lot of those accounts are still posting. Like, there are very few accounts that you'll see on there that are like, inactive or haven't posted in a while. But the same thing happens on YouTube with me, where like, I don't know if like most people did this, but like with me, when I found a band I liked, I just followed their YouTube. And at this point, it makes no sense for me to follow like bands like Audio Slave and like, I don't know, like Led Zeppelin or something, like all the old rock bands and stuff. Like, they're not gonna make new music, like, it's just there. They have a YouTube channel, it makes money, but like, you're not gonna get any content out of it. So that's one really interesting thing I've noticed. Like, when you're a kid, you just like everything you just like, you're like, okay, I want to follow this and that and this and that. You don't realize that, yeah, you're not really gonna like get anything. You're not gonna get any content from like a old band from the 80s that disbanded and never ever is going to make music again. Like, you're a kid, you're just like, oh my god, like there's so much stuff I can like follow and I can access the internet and everything. So you just follow everything, and you don't realize for a moment that it clutters up your feed so much. And it's like, it's so annoying now, especially because at this point my phone like makes me anxious. There's just way too much stuff. Like, there's so many accounts, there's so many people on like each account. Like, there are people on Twitter that you talk to, there are people on Instagram, there are people here, there are people there. It's way too much. And like, our social media feeds are like, they are sort of everything if you think about it. Like, that's how we picture the world, that's how we get our news, that's how we get our information. And I think at this age especially, I need to pay a bit more attention about what is on there. Like, do I really care about what this person's saying? Do I really care about what this corporation is posting? Because a lot of it is just stimulus. It's like I just had like a bunch of like, I don't know, like car companies followed on Instagram. I had like a bunch of celebrities I followed, and I don't really care about any of their movies or in TV shows. Like, there's just so much stuff that you just follow just because, oh, like everyone else is following it or whatever. It's like a big account or whatever. And it's like, holy shit, that clutters up your social media so much. And I think in some weird way, like, because of algorithms and everything, it probably gets in the way of stuff that you actually need to like engage with. And I think it's also important to clean this stuff up, because like, I'm not the same person I was like 6 years ago. Like, I've changed, and so I think my feed and who I follow, corporations, whatever, like individuals, I think that should change also. And it's kind of annoying that it takes such a conscious effort to clean the stuff up and remove stuff, whereas following and subscribing to stuff is so easy. It's like, just like a click of a button. But removing that stuff, it's weirdly a bit more taxing. Not too much, but just a bit more. And so, I don't know, if you're watching this, like, maybe go look at your social media feeds and just realize that maybe there's a bunch of stuff you could remove. I think a bit less of social media is probably good for everyone. So if you could remove like, maybe like 10-15 accounts from there, maybe it might make your feeds look a bit better. Less toxic, narratives and bad memes and just people you don't really give a shit about. And yeah, I guess thanks for watching my video, and that's about it.